Hello. So this was a long stealth invasion. This was about 14 minutes, give or take, and I've edited it down to about 8.5. So I've cut out the sections where I'm just sitting in a bush waiting for something to happen. So what I thought I'd do, I get asked a lot on here and on TikTok about how I put my stealth build together. And most common question is how come people don't see me, and how do I get away with all this stuff? So I thought I'd kind of go through how I approach the invasions, and I can cover off gear and stuff like that. Really, two most important things when you're playing this kind of stealth style, it's really patience and decision making. So you don't want to rush in and try and force something to happen. You really just want to get a feel for where you are and who you've invaded, and then what's going to be the best way to take them out. So the first thing I've done here is I found a corner to hide in. So I had quite a good spawn point. There's a corner nearby, there's a bit of shadow. So that's where I am. I'm crouching, and then I'm trying to get a feel for where I am in the world and the type of players that I've invaded. So I'm rune level 150, and this area here, there is no reason for people to be here at rune level 150 unless they're ganking, because this is kind of a mid-game area, and obviously rune level 150 is end game. And then just looking at the players that I've invaded and the gear that I've got, you can see they're actively looking for an invader. The host has got Moog Spear, so my assumption is they're ganking, and just the fact that they're running up and down the area trying to find me. The other thing you want to get a feel for when you've invaded people is, if they're playing through the level, what kind of playthrough is it? So do you have potentially a inexperienced host? It's probably their first playthrough, and they may have over-leveled phantoms with them, helping them through the game. Or is it just group of friends, they've played through the game many times already, and they kind of look like they can handle themselves. So that's really kind of the key thing at the start. It's get a feel for where you are and who you've invaded. And that's the patience part. Where the decision making comes in is really about when to move and when to stay put. So you can see I'm crouching in a corner. I've got armor, bandit garb, which is muted colors, which is really useful for blending in. I've got the concealing veil talisman, which means I can't be seen from distance if I'm crouching. And I've got the furled finger trick mirror, which means I don't have the red glow of an invader. So I feel pretty confident here that even hiding in this corner, when they come out the doorway, they're not going to spot me, just because I'm blending in. And you can see here, the phantom should have spotted me there, but didn't. So when to move and when to stay put is a key decision. I typically move when the other players are occupied. So they're either running to a different part of the area, they're busy fighting enemies, for example, or it might look like they're in their menus. And I work on the basis that if I can't see them, then they can't see me. So I try and keep something in between me and them. So if they're panning the camera around while they're running, there's going to be something in between us, like a tree or a statue or a wall or whatever. Also work on the basis that they're looking for a red phantom. So again, that really helps if you're blending in. So that's the decision-making part. It's okay, when am I going to move? When am I going to stay put? And really kind of looking to see what it is that they're doing. So like I say, if they're distracted, that's always a good time to move. The kind of other thing to think about as well is, what to do if you're spotted. So sometimes they may turn around, they might have seen something in the corner of their eye, they might have heard something, so they turn around and you think they've spotted you, but you're not quite sure. One of the telltale signs is if their head tilts towards you when they move, it means they've locked on. So what some players will do is they'll just tap R3 to see if they can lock on to anything. But if they haven't done that, what I would say is just hold your nerve, maybe move slowly, try and find some better cover. The other thing you can do, so when you invade, you have an item in your inventory, the Phantom Bloody Finger. And what that does, if you use that, it will respawn you into the invasion. And ideally what it will do is put you in a better location. So what you don't want is to reappear exactly where you were and the phantoms are right on top of you, which it sometimes does. It's a bit temperamental. I've had other situations though where it's been really, really useful. So for example, I've seen the host and the phantoms run into an elevator. They know I'm following. They've gone down the elevator. What I've then done is call the elevator back up, use the bloody finger, and I've respawned at the bottom. So they're waiting for me, but I've actually been able to sneak up behind them and get a backstab. So talking of backstabs, I have the Misery Cord equipped, which has high critical damage. I've got the Dagger Talisman, and one thing a friend recently told me about backstabs is if you have split damage, so this is a dex build with lightning infusion, you actually get a much more higher damage than, let's say, you've just got pure physical damage. It's the way the crit modifier works. So that's something that's definitely worth thinking about. So the host and the phantom, they've gone back into this area. They're still looking for me. Again, I'm hiding here because I'm pretty confident they're not going to see me. I'm not going to run in there because I know they're going to run back out any second and I'm probably going to get ganked. So again, I'm just kind of being patient here and waiting for the right moment, because what I want ideally is for the group to be split up, which is actually what's going to happen right now when these guys come out. So the phantoms are going to keep exploring the level, and knowing the level layout can be quite useful, as we're about to see. So yep, phantoms carry on their way, and if you look now, the host is on his own, which is great. So finally the group is separated, so I can sneak down the stairs here, hopefully any second. Yeah, when the host starts moving, and the host is not rejoining the phantoms, the host is searching on his own. So what I do here is I crawl into a bush and I'm just seeing what the host is doing. Now, I know there's a drop there, and I know there's not that much around the corner, so I'm not going to run up and try and attack the host or get a backstab, because I know I'm just going to run into him when he's on his way back. So what I do is I equip the jar cannon, because I know there's a drop, and if I aim the shot right, the explosion should send the host over the ledge. So let's just see when he comes around the corner if that's what happens. Any second. And there we go. Patience rewarded. Thanks very much.